On the BBC News at 6, so it's goodbye from me. On BBC One, we now join the BBC's news teams where you are. Bye-bye.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Look North, the headlines from us this Thursday night. Going nowhere fast, but now ministers say they'll pay millions for road improvements.
Pedestrians hate it because of the lorries and the level of traffic and the noise. Car drivers hate it because they have to drive among the lorries. Everybody hates it.
Why North Lincolnshire could be at the forefront of the UK's new dash for gas. Hope of some relief for people struggling to get a phone signal in rural areas.
No signal. Can't get hold of Michael, so I can't talk to him about what I need to talk to him about.
And a hard-hitting boxer who's punching her way to success after being picked by England.
Some rain to come tomorrow and this evening for that matter, but what's the weekend looking like? Join me later to find out.
Hello, good evening. It is the biggest investment in roads in Hull since the 1980s. The government has confirmed in the spending review that more than £130 million is to be spent lowering the A63. It's designed to ease congestion and help traffic flow to the docks. But there is still uncertainty about whether a pedestrian bridge linking the city centre with the waterfront will be included. Local politicians say leaving this out would be a serious mistake. Bilton reports.
It may be the main route into and out of Hull, but it rarely runs freely. An announcement in Westminster today, though, could be about to change all that.
We will deliver all of the major projects in the Highways Agency pipeline. The A19 between Newcastle and South Shields, the A63 in Hull.
It was short and sweet, but this is what he just agreed to. A £160 million investment to improve the A63 Castle Street. By lowering the level of the road into a cutting and widening it into 3 lanes, it's hoped it will improve congestion. But it may not go far enough. This road, one of the busiest in East Yorkshire, has divided this city for years, acting as a barrier between the centre and the marina. Today's announcement will go some way to making things better for traffic, but it was hoped that a land bridge planned for here would make access better for pedestrians. That is still to be confirmed. When pushed in the Commons today, no guarantees were given, but there is some optimism.
The proposals that the public will see include 3 footbridges. We need 2 of those footbridges, but the one that's at Princess Quay, we want that to be the big iconic land bridge that connects the marina with the city. And I'm optimistic we can do that. But you're right, that's not done and dusted yet, so there's more work still to do.
This restaurant opened exactly a year ago today on Hull's marina. They saw the potential that the waterfront area has here. Potential that could be unlocked further with a link to the city centre.
Our kind of profile is one created through advertising rather than people walking past and actually seeing where we are and what we do. So absolutely, I think to inject some life into this area by having an easier link or a more readily available link between the old town and the marina, I think would definitely benefit.
The lorry drivers hate it because they have to keep stopping at the Pelican crossings. Pedestrians hate it because of the lorries and the level of traffic and the noise. Car drivers hate it because they have to drive among the lorries. Everybody hates it.
At least it moves in the right direction. At least it's on the radar. They're thinking about it and talking about it.
Today's announcement gives the financial commitment. Work could begin in 3 years' time. But for now, though, the champagne will remain on ice. Bilton, BBC Look North, Hull.
Well, our political editor, Tim Ardell, is at the A63 right now. Where has the government got this £160 million from when it's cutting spending elsewhere?
Well, the government essentially has a separate pot of money for long-term investment in things like new roads, rail links, hospitals and schools. That's what's known as capital spending. It differs from the day-to-day spending on things like welfare payments, benefits and public sector wages. It's a bit like having 2 separate bank accounts for your household income. One pays for the day-to-day stuff like the food shopping, the other pays for long-term projects like house repairs. The government hopes by pumping money into the transport network, it will ultimately get traffic on roads like this moving again, bring more money into the regional economy and ultimately bring more taxes in. Although I have to say, rumours that a centre court style roof is to be built over the A63 to keep off the rain are entirely unfounded, Peter.
No roof, thank you very much indeed, Tim. Well, the government has also tonight struck a stopgap deal with the insurance industry that will keep home insurance premiums affordable for people in flood risk areas. Now, thousands of homes were damaged by record flooding 6 years ago, leading to higher premiums. The latest agreement is only temporary, while the government and insurers try to reach a long-term deal.
Through a not-for-profit reinsurance company that will be set up by the government with the insurance industry running it. People who live at flood risk will be able to get insurance, their premiums will be capped, the excess charges they pay will be capped, and it will be targeted to make sure that those least able to pay the least.
That could be the answer to our future energy needs, but it may mean digging up the fields of East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire to tap large reserves of gas. The Chancellor, George Osborne, has given money in his spending review to support shale gas extraction in a process which is called fracking. It's highly controversial, but could, it's claimed, reduce household gas bills. Our environment correspondent, Phil Connell, reports from Broughton in North Lincolnshire.
A scenic view across North Lincolnshire's countryside, but beneath this rural landscape there could be a £1 billion industry. Below these fields surrounding Scunthorpe could lie vast supplies of natural gas. The quantities here have been massively underestimated, with experts describing the area as a potential hotspot for shale gas exploration. Egdon Resources, the firm that's investigating the area's potential, has identified several sites for both gas and oil exploration. If predictions prove right, there could be 16 trillion cubic feet of shale gas, the equivalent to 12 years' worth of North Sea production. Figures which the government says could be highly beneficial.
This is what's happened in the United States, and it's made it a real success in the US. And look, ultimately, what does this all mean for someone watching this? It means their gas bill is cheaper, the cost of heating their home is cheaper. That's why it's so important.
But the process of extracting the gas known as fracking is highly controversial. Wells are drilled and then a high-pressure water mixture containing sand and chemicals is forced into the rock to release the gas inside. In the North Lincolnshire village of Broughton, residents are well aware of what lies beneath them, and opinions are divided.
Would it damage the environment if you started digging for the gas? I'm not sure. It'd be good for Lincolnshire if you found billions of pounds worth of gas, definitely.
Does it affect the structure, wildlife or anything like that?
In America, shale gas has revolutionised the energy market, with gas prices plummeting. In Lincolnshire, councillors hope there could be similar benefits here as well.
America has gone down the route of shale gas considerably in the last few years, and energy bills have fallen. But more importantly, the cost of manufacturing goods has fallen.
Confirmation of how much gas lies beneath Lincolnshire's countryside is still to be established, an undiscovered treasure that could revolutionise Britain's energy market. Phil Connell, BBC Look North.
Well, earlier I spoke to Gazer Frackman, who's an anti-fracking campaigner from Blackpool. Now, he feels so strongly that he's changed his name by deed poll to Frackman. I asked him why he thinks that there's no place for this kind of energy production in the UK.
No good's going to come of fracking whatsoever. The contamination. To be honest with you, of all the things that we found out recently, the major thing about this is what they're going to do with the millions and millions of gallons of toxic waste.
But we desperately need power. There the energy is, under the rocks in this country. That's got to be a win-win situation rather than shipping power from abroad, surely.
They keep using that thing from shipping it from abroad. Last year, at one point, we actually exported gas cheaper